research. To talk more about how the company is at the forefront of gene therapy for rare genetic diseases is Dr. Gaurav Shah, and CEO of Rocket Pharma, and Kinnari Patel, President and Head of R&D and COO of Rocket Pharma, joining me now. It's a pleasure to have you both.
Thanks for having us here.
Thank you so much. Excited to be here.
So, Dr. Patel, Rocket focuses on gene therapy for rare diseases. Tell us more about this and why it's so important.
Rare diseases, when you think about it, really, it's 3 points. One, rare disease impact over 300 million people worldwide. And if you look at their caregivers, it impacts over 1 billion people worldwide. And so if you think about rare diseases, each of them, there are 7,000 of them. Unfortunately, only 5% of them have treatment options. And it takes 7 years to get a diagnosis. So this is an urgent unmet medical need.
And Dr. Shah, you focus on both rare bone marrow conditions as well as heart diseases, is that right? One of the main focuses is Danon disease. Danon disease. Can you talk more about this and elaborate why it's so important?
Yeah, Danon disease is a disease of autophagy. What is autophagy? Every cell of our body has a protein called LAMP2, which is like the on switch of a vacuum cleaner. Without that gene, the on switch of the vacuum cleaner, your body cannot clean up the garbage and the debris that builds up inside the cells, especially in the heart. So the hearts grow in size, and eventually these are boys and girls who die at a very, very early age. That's called Danon disease, and Rocket is working on a gene therapy for Danon disease.
And Dr. Patel, would you like to add to that?
I have to say that Danon disease, when we treated that, we showed that gene therapy has a potential for one-and-done curative therapies, which means just because you're born with a faulty or missing gene, it doesn't have to define your life. And I think, to me, that revolution of making gene therapy possible is great, not just for this disease, but many more diseases to come. And at Rocket, we're working on 3 cardiac diseases, overall impacting over 100,000 patients in the US and Europe.
And how important is genetic testing when it comes to diagnosing these diseases?
It is so critical. At this point, after the Discovery of Human Genome Project in 2003, genetic testing is at the core of the struggle. If it takes 7 years for somebody to get the right diagnosis, it's too late. So what we're recommending is genetic testing across the board. Rocket has worked on having Mission Genome come alive, which is a no-cost genetic testing for anybody with cardiomyopathies. And this way, if you know what's causing your disease and your symptoms, you can actually try to get a treatment option, and that saves lives in a dramatic way.
Dr. Shah, would you like to add about the importance of diagnosing these diseases when it comes to treatment?
Absolutely. Without diagnosis, these diseases will not be found. In fact, genetic testing opens the door for gene therapy and other modalities like gene therapy to crack the code for even larger diseases eventually, like Alzheimer's and bigger cardiomyopathies in adults. What we're doing here, and what's important to realize, that investing in companies like Rocket, in genetic testing companies, will eventually lead to a dream. The eye on the dream is more common diseases that can really cure a big spectrum of humanity.
And Dr. Patel, I do want to talk to you more from a marketing perspective, how Rocket is going about bringing awareness to such critical, important issues by being here at the NYSE, opening up the markets and speaking to us.
I love the partnership we have at NYSE today. Rare Disease Day is February 28th, and what we're doing is working with communities around the world to light up landmarks around the globe. So we have over 120 landmarks, from Niagara Falls to Empire State Building and others, lighting up to give hope to patients that need it. And for us, raising awareness on genetic testing, raising awareness on hope, and advancing science for better health and better humanity is our mission.
Dr. Shah, would you like to add to that?
I think that gene therapy, and gene therapy for rare disease specifically, is one of the most profound breakthroughs of our time in medicine, and a lot more is to come.
Well, thank you so much both for joining me today. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.